there's a pretty long gap in adaptations that I've been able to find. I haven't found anything for the rest of the 70s or anything at all for the 80s. I'm sure Disney must have done something with the mansion iconography in those 18 years, but I haven't found it. If they have, let me know if you do. The next adaptations I have been able to find don't come until 1990. Now, I thought about including the Disneyland 35th anniversary special, where a ghost girl dances with young Woody Boyd, but that doesn't really treat the mansion as being real. It just happens to separately be haunted, unrelated to its fictional haunted status. Yeah, there's a ghost girl, but none of the mansion ghosts are treated as real. She's just an unrelated ghost who happens to be there. So no, this is not going to be yet another video where I babble about the Cheers Disney crossover universe. But if you want another one of those, you don't need to ask twice. The next proper adaptation I could find was released 6,680 days after the Mouse Factory episode. If they had just released this 20 days earlier, we could have kept to a spooky theme, but no. But this is a big one because June 1st, 1990 saw the release of the first video game representation I have been able to find of the Haunted Mansion. I refer, of course, to Adventures in the Magic Kingdom for the NES, one of many beloved Disney games made by Capcom. In this game, Goofy has lost the keys to the castle, and you have to find them by getting to the end of attraction minigames and by answering trivia. Now, before we get any further, yes, the title is Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, but the mansion exterior in the game looks more like the Disneyland mansion, and the castle on the box art is Cinderella's castle, but the castle in the game looks more like Sleeping Beauty's castle, plopped on top of the Great Wall of China. And the map layout doesn't resemble any existing park, but it's closer to Disneyland Park than to Magic Kingdom, Florida. And that's mostly because this is a relic of a time when Disney wasn't quite as precious about specific nomenclature in their branding, and often used the phrase Magic Kingdom to refer not specifically to Magic Kingdom Park in Florida, but to the general idea of a Disneyland-style Magic Kingdom Park. Disneyland itself was frequently referred to as the Magic Kingdom before there even was a Florida park. So when this game advertises itself as Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, it's not saying that it's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom trademark park located at 11807 Seas Drive, Lake Buena Vista, Florida 32830. It means Adventures in a hypothetical amalgamation of all Magic Kingdoms. Adventures in the idea of a Magic Kingdom. That way they're legally not claiming that this is the adventure you'll have when you visit any specific Magic Kingdom, because the Haunted Mansion at all those is an Omnimover ride and not a side-scrolling platformer. But here, the Haunted Mansion is just one of your quests on your way to find the 6 keys that unlock the not specifically branded castle. As you begin your quest, Mickey gives you the Dennis Nedry pose as he cheerfully warns you that you could die. Then if you do die, he gives you the same pose and callously tells you to try again. So the level begins, and the first thing you see is this really scary ghost guy, and if you touch him now, it's insta-death. And instead of friendly Mickey shaming you, it's scary ghost guy shaming you. Traumatizing. The first part of the level is the cemetery, most likely meant to reflect the queue outside the ride, but borrowing a little from the graveyard scene in the ride, and also adding Nosferatu zombies! Nothing like that in the ride. You can kill them by throwing a single candle at them. The main thing borrowed from the graveyard scene is the heads popping up behind the gravestones. Some of them are Dracula. Some of them are Fido Dido. Then you move inside the mansion where you can start collecting more candles to throw at enemies, and the scary ghost guy does like a Scooby-Doo mirror gag. He doesn't go quite full Groucho and Harpo with it, and it's not quite Hitchhiking Ghost either, since his reflection doesn't appear alongside yours, but hey, it's cute for, being scary. And we get bottomless pits, which, are in the ride, but not as far as guests know. We get falling chandeliers, which aren't in the ride. And we get hands that reach out of coffins, which I guess is a reference to the coffin occupant, except the lid was finally removed and suddenly he's lost interest in getting out and now he just wants to drag you in. Also, he's lying lengthwise in the coffin, or he's just placing his hands weirdly, or he has a companion in there with him. No wonder he lost interest in getting out. Have fun, you two. Oh, and also, while the zombies can be killed with 1 candle hit, each hand takes 3. You got some strong-ass hands there, Rockbiter. Then you ride this flying chair up to the upper level, where you're in the ballroom, and we get our most explicit bit of iconography from the ride thus far, the ballroom dancers. And they seem to be minding their own business, but they still hurt you if they touch you, so you gotta kill them. I don't want to, they're just having a nice time, they're not hurting anybody. Well, except me, but I feel bad killing these lovers in eternal embrace. But the castle key isn't gonna find itself, so die, dancers! Then there's some tedious platforming as you hop across floating chairs and chandeliers, and you eventually find a different shaped floating chair, which takes you up to the attic for even more tedious platforming, as you ride a floating chair over a bottomless pit and try not to get knocked over by flying books. Then you jump across chairs that will fall shortly after you land on them, all while avoiding swooping ghosts who look like parrots, and finally you ride one last chair up to the boss battle. The singing busts are there, although their placement is more reminiscent of the watchful busts, and there's plenty of candles to stock up on as the scary ghost guy comes in for the attack, and you gotta fight him off. And once you defeat him, Goofy gives you the key. Isn't Goofy the one who lost the keys in the first place? I'm starting to suspect the narrative of this game wasn't intricately crafted by an author with a master plan.
So hurry back, we would like your company.